It was a crisp autumn evening, and the lights of the TV studio buzzed softly as Marcus Johnson adjusted his tie backstage. He could hear the muffled chatter of the audience and the faint hum of the cameras. This wasn't his first time in front of a crowd, but it was his first time on national television. He took a deep breath, reminding himself why he was here. This wasn't just about promoting his tech company. It was about sharing his story, a story he hoped would inspire someone, somewhere, to keep going. Marcus had come a long way from the small apartment he shared with his mom in Chicago. He remembered the nights she worked double shifts, coming home exhausted, but always with a smile for him. He remembered the old computer she saved up to buy him, the one he taught himself to code on. And he remembered the day he told her he was starting his own company. She had hugged him tight and said, "Baby, you're going to change the world." Those words had carried him through the toughest days. Now, standing backstage, Marcus felt a surge of gratitude. He wasn't just doing this for himself. He was doing it for her, for every kid who grew up like he did, and for every dreamer who needed a reminder that their dreams were valid. The stage manager gave him a nod, and Marcus walked out to a warm round of applause. The host, a charismatic man with a reputation for tough questions, greeted him with a handshake and a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. The interview started off smoothly. Marcus talked about his journey, the late nights, the rejections, the moments of doubt. He spoke about his company, which was creating affordable tech solutions for underserved communities. His passion was palpable, and the audience hung on his every word. But then, the host leaned back in his chair, his tone shifting. "Marcus," he said, his voice dripping with skepticism, "you've done well for yourself, but let's be real. The tech industry is oversaturated. Aren't there already enough companies out there? What makes you think yours will last?" The room grew quiet. Marcus could feel the weight of the question, the subtle jab beneath the words. He took a moment, his mind racing. This wasn't just a question about his business. It was a question about his worth. And Marcus had spent too many years proving his worth to let this moment slip away. He leaned forward, his eyes locking with the host's. "You know," he began, his voice steady but filled with emotion, "I've heard that question before. People always want to know why I think I'm different. But the truth is, it's not about being different. It's about being determined. When you grow up like I did, you learn that failure isn't an option. You learn to fight for every opportunity, to work twice as hard just to get half as far. And you do it because you believe in something bigger than yourself." The audience was silent, captivated by his words. Marcus continued, his voice growing stronger. "You asked if there are enough tech companies out there. Let me ask you this. Are there enough voices like mine? Enough stories like mine? Because for every kid out there who looks like me, who comes from where I come from, my success isn't just about me. It's about showing them that they can do it too, that they matter, that their dreams matter." The host opened his mouth to respond, but Marcus held up a hand. "I didn't come here to defend my business," he said firmly. "I came here to inspire someone, and if I've done that tonight, then I've done my job." With that, Marcus stood up, shook the host's hand, and walked off the stage. The audience erupted into applause, some even standing to cheer. The cameras followed him as he left, capturing the raw emotion on his face. It was a moment of pure authenticity, a moment that left everyone in the room, and everyone watching at home, stunned. Backstage, Marcus felt a wave of relief. He had said what he needed to say. He didn't know how it would be received, but he knew he had spoken his truth. As he left the studio, his phone buzzed incessantly. Texts, calls, and social media notifications poured in. People were sharing clips of the interview, praising his courage and honesty. Messages from strangers flooded his inbox, thanking him for his words, telling him how much he had inspired them. One message stood out. It was from a young boy in Detroit who wrote, "Mr. Johnson, I saw you on TV tonight. I want to be like you when I grow up. Thank you for showing me it's possible." Marcus read the message twice, tears welling up in his eyes. This was why he had done it. This was what it was all about. The next morning, the interview was everywhere. News outlets called it a defining moment. Social media was ablaze with hashtags like Marcus Johnson and Keep Rising. But for Marcus, the real victory wasn't the attention, it was the impact. It was knowing that his story had reached someone, that it had given them hope. As he sat in his office later that day, Marcus thought about his mom. He wished she could see this, see how far he had come. But deep down, he knew she was proud. She had always believed in him, even when he didn't believe in himself. And now he was using his platform to believe in others. The journey wasn't over. There would be more challenges, more doubters, more moments of uncertainty. But Marcus knew one thing for sure. As long as he stayed true to himself and his purpose, he would keep rising. And he would keep lifting others along the way. Hey everyone, if this story moved you, if it made you think, or if it reminded you why we need to keep having these conversations, please take a moment to like this video. It really helps spread awareness. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Have you ever witnessed or experienced something like this? Let's talk about it. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be told, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're here to share real, powerful stories that need to be heard. Lastly, share this with your friends and family. The more people who see this, the more we can bring awareness and change. Thank you for watching and being part of this journey. Let's keep pushing forward, together.